Hello and welcome to the Hounding Harmony Dog Training Podcast, the show that helps you go from chaos to calm with your dog, one episode at a time. I'm Emily, a dog trainer and licensed veterinary technician, here to give you practical tips, real-life strategies, and the confidence to raise a well-behaved, obedient dog without the overwhelm. Let's jump in and create a calm and connected life with your dog. Hi, hello, welcome. Today, I really feel like we need to have a conversation about defining what a good dog means to you, because it might not be what I think a good dog means. It might not be what someone else thinks a good dog is. With any goal in your life, it's really important to define the goal so that you can accurately seek and make progress towards it. This will also help you manage your expectations that you have for your dog and potentially help you feel less frustrated with where they are at right now in their progress with their training. 99% of people, I feel like they think a good dog is seen and not heard. Like they live and exist, but they don't really affect the people around them. Especially as like a guest, people don't want to think of the dog as like the main event. At least unless you're a dog person. I get it. If you're that person at the party that is immediately seeking out the dog, I see you. I see your social anxiety, and we've all been there. But the average person that is less than passionate about canines would rather them be more of a decoration fixture than a sentient being. I'm not calling you out if you have this feeling about dogs. But if we're making a scale, I would put this on one end of the scale. And on the other end of the scale, you have the type of dog that goes everywhere with their owner, that is living every moment of the day with them, going in public, doing a job. They're very integrated into life with their owner. It'll be very unlikely that you are on either end of the spectrum, but more likely that you are somewhere in the middle. So take a moment, think about it. For me, a good dog is one that is integrated into my life, but I don't necessarily take them everywhere with me. I take them out in public once in a while. I would like to be able to run with them. I would like them to listen the first time I speak, to have general physical boundaries. This list is actually getting a lot longer than I anticipated. But to sum up, I would like them to be actively a part of my life without me having to stress about any behavior that might cause a problem. Which is why I created this podcast, because I feel like that is what the average person wants. At least the majority of people that love their dog and have a dog intentionally. I'm getting a little off topic. But I want to talk about these expectations because it's really easy to get discouraged when you don't see results as quickly as you think you should, or if you have completely undefined expectations and you're just accidentally expecting way too much of your dog at this moment. It takes years to fully train a good dog. You may find yourself thinking that your dog is just really difficult. I agree that some dogs are harder to train than others, and the challenge with dog training as you're learning is to find the way that they communicate best with, the methods that work best for you and them. That's why I say so often you need to get curious with what's working and what's not working, and start to ditch what doesn't and stick with what does, or explore the tiny sliver of hope that something is starting to work, because sometimes that's what it's like. Something else that's really frustrating and very easy to do is comparing your dog to dogs that are farther along in their training journey. I would hate if you came to my house with your 5-month-old Australian puppy and you compared them to my 8-year-old mature Australian Shepherd. Now, there will be many similarities because Aussies are what I like to call forever young, but there's a huge gap in mental capability between 5 months and 8 years. So if you're following anyone on social media that is really triggering this comparison, knock it off. Unfollow and block them. I don't care. You can take inspiration, but stop comparing. Learn, but don't just sit there and get down on yourself, get down on your dog. It's helping no one. On another note, stop researching so much. Get off your phone and actually do a training session. You're going to learn, most likely, you are going to learn more from dealing with your dog one-on-one than you will from the people on TikTok and Instagram trying to teach you. There's a time and place, but there's something called analysis paralysis, and it's keeping you from actually making progress with your dog. Put the phone down and go take them on a walk. I'm sorry if you feel like I'm yelling at you. I've talked a lot about what you shouldn't do. I'm going to get real tactical with it. Some specific action steps, specific examples now. So like we said earlier, first you need to start with clarity. Figure out what good looks like for you. Make a short list of behaviors that matter most in your home and life. And also think about the things that you are currently allowing and how they could be an issue later on, either when they're bigger or they have more confidence in the home. I'm talking counter surfing when they have their paws on the counter, giving hugs. Look at what you're allowing and figure out if it's something that you want to stay long term. Up next is our favorite that we hear probably every episode, consistency. Dogs learn best from repetition and clear boundaries. If you don't have either of those things, you're not going to see progress. When they work together, you see immense progress. Consistency doesn't mean you do an hour training session every day. It means you're showing up more times than you're not. A bunch of small training sessions are going to show way more progress than 1 or 2 long training sessions. So think of it this way. If you did 4 training sessions that were 15 minutes each this week, I would consider that consistency because you showed up 4 out of the 7 days. Consistency also is important in holding the boundaries, but with consistency in your boundaries, it needs to be absolutely 100% every time you hold the line. Because every time you slack off, you might as well take 2 steps back. When you're really clear with boundaries and are consistent in training, you're building my third tip, which is connection. The more connected they are to you, the more that they trust you, the more confident they will be in any scenario because they can trust you to lead and protect them. It's going to reduce anxiety, it's going to reduce reactivity, and it's the basis for actually finding harmony with them. You can also build a ton of connection by simply having fun with them, playing with them, being silly. Obviously keep your boundaries of no, don't put your teeth on me, don't jump up on me, but play with them. Let them have fun. That's going to build connection so quickly. And my final tip to help you DIY your good dog is to get a training plan figured out. This could look like you taking all of the notes from your clarity questions and just putting them down in a timeline, in a goal system, writing down the top 3 things you want to work on right now. Or it could look like asking for help. You could talk to a local trainer or you could talk to me. I literally do this. This is why I'm here. I'm here to help you get some direction in your training and to find progress faster than if you did it on your own. So, to sum it all up, a good dog is completely unique to your life, and getting there is going to take some clarity, connection, and consistency. You need to have realistic expectations and be locked in for the long ride. It's going to take some time. Some dogs catch on to things in one session. Sometimes it takes months. There's also the funness of regression and plateaus in your progress, and it just happens. But your commitment to creating this good dog is going to pay off in the future, and it's going to be so worth it because I promise you right now, you're in a growing season, and one day you're going to be able to look back and be like, thank God that I showed up for this dog. Now I don't have to worry about them running out the door after the mailman. I also want to encourage you that every dog has the capability to be a good dog in the right hands and with the right direction. You can look back on my previous episodes, like why your dog doesn't listen to you, how to crate train, how to get loose leash walking. I have a whole little mini library for you to look at for resources. And if you want help with any part of these steps beyond what I've mentioned, we can build a training plan that works for you and that you can actually stick to. So if you're interested in that, check the show notes. Otherwise, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you so much for tuning into Hounding Harmony Dog Training. If you found this episode helpful, it would mean the world to me if you'd follow the show and leave a quick review. This helps other dog owners find the support that they need too. For more tips, training help, and encouragement, follow me on TikTok and Instagram at HH_dog training, or you can check out the resources in the show notes. Until next time, keep hounding that harmony.